Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rick Cameron. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Mercer University Center. It's a great day to be a Mercer Bear, as we find it to be most days, but today especially. In just a few moments, a little over an hour, we're going to have our men's basketball team. Coach Ritter's in the house getting his guys ready. Men's basketball against the Citadel. First home SoCon game, so make sure when you enjoy the news conference and you fellowship and get to meet our new coach, you make your way into the arena for a very important conference game. Okay, our administrative team and search teams throughout the past few years, since we brought football back in 2013, have done an amazing job. Bobby Lamb came first and took the vision that President Underwood, Jim Cole, and others had and turned it into a football team. Those first few days, I think Coach Lamb was getting the guys ready. We didn't have a stadium. We didn't have a uniform. I don't know that we even had any footballs, but Coach Lamb did a great job of getting us ready to go. We started off that first year with a 10-2 first season. That was an NCAA record for a startup program or a restart. And of course, Bobby was inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame in November. Drew Cronick then came in and challenged us to raise the bar. He led us to our first postseason playoffs in 2023, including the first postseason win over Gardner-Webb. The Bears were eventually eliminated by the number one team in the nation and the eventual national champion, South Dakota State. It's rumored that we had a pretty good defensive coordinator during that time, but in 2022, they only led all 126 FCS squads with 17 interceptions, so just not bad. And then Mike Jacobs came in the last 2 years, led us to back-to-back SoCon championships in 2024. After defeating number 10 Rhode Island, the Bears again faced the eventual national champion, North Dakota State at the Fargo Dome. That was in the quarterfinals. This past year, as we all know, the Bears were unbeaten in conference play, ranked 6th in the country. Coach Jacobs was the SoCon Coach of the Year for the second consecutive year. Now, we're gathered today to begin the era of our 4th head coach of the modern day era. We are excited, to say the least, to see what levels will be reached moving forward under his leadership. Speaking of leadership, this university has been blessed by so many strong leaders. I've had the opportunity of working for President Underwood and prior to that, Dr. Kirby Godsey, who have provided outstanding leadership, and we're still in very good hands. She's had a very busy first week, but we're going to ask our new president, Dr. Penny Elkins, to come forward and share the role of athletics and football in the mission of Mercer University. Dr. Elkins.
That's great. Thank you. So, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And let me just say, Rick, I love you, but I'm going to correct one thing. It's a great day to be a Mercer Bear every day, not most days. Yes, thank you. And I know that as he was talking, I said, you know what Rick's saying? He is saying this is a winning program, and that is exactly what we are. Mercer University is incredible. Obviously, I know that, and you know that. Our students are not only high-quality students with that Mercer standard of excellence, but our student athletes, let me tell you, are the same in terms of our Mercer expectations. I am so proud of our student athletes, and athletics is an integral part of the Mercer University program. Everything we do, I say this all the time, there are lots of students who might not have even played athletics or not really necessarily interested in going to all the games, but you better know that there is an energy on campus and students want to come to a university that has strong athletics programs, and we certainly do at Mercer. We are a winning team. I have to tell y'all, if you notice anything, do y'all notice anything? Wait, you saw it, didn't you? So I told Coach just a minute ago, if you do not know, I'm channeling my challenge to the coach because I am wearing my Southern Conference Championship necklace from our football program. We now have 2 of those, and I'm looking, Coach, for what? A third one, starting, wait, here we go, that's right. I want a third one and one much bigger than this one. And I know that this coach can do it. I know we're going to introduce him formally here in just a moment. But let me tell you, I was here through all of that Rick just articulated. And I watched this coach. I am so proud of you and your program. And you know what? Because I know we're going to win and be successful. But I'm also, as the Mercer way, I'm incredibly thrilled of what a human being this man is and the integrity that he carries and the mentorship that he will give to these young men. I can't wait to see what you're going to do, Coach. And as always, go Bears.
She's not excited about being the new president, but it does rub off on all of us indeed. Well, to have quality leadership among our student athletes with coaches and to bring great student athletes in, it's got to start at the top. And at the top, the man who's had a busy last month or so, as all athletic directors are having these days. But we now bring to the podium Athletic Director Jim Coe.
Thank you, Rick, and Dr. Elkins, thank you. Looking forward to the future. It's going to be exciting, and we're going to have a great time. Before I get into the reason we're here, he's sitting here, and Michelle, welcome. We're glad to have you. It's great to have you all back on campus. I just want to take a minute, if you don't mind, and I want to tell everybody in this room thank you. Because I want you to think back a little bit on what you've done in the last 5 years with the football and the support you've given. And everybody in here should share in that thanks. 5 straight winning seasons, 3 straight playoff appearances, back-to-back Southern Conference championships, back-to-back national seeds. And so I want to, if you don't mind, if everybody would applause, and clap your hands and give everybody a good round of applause for that great. I really mean this. It does take a village to have a winning program, right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
We got to have everybody. But listen, I just want to talk a little bit about the process of how we came to select Coach Taylor as our coach. To me, it wasn't a very hard process. But I do want to say this, is that I'm cognizant of the perception that the NCAA and the college athletics gets now. Because then when you turn on the TV, you hear about kids sitting out bowl games, and they're in the portal, and coaches going from here and there. And listen, it's the new norm, and we're embracing it. But you have to be prepared as a leader to embrace, I would say the biggest change for us is the speed of things. You have to be prepared to make decisions a lot quicker. When I first got here, we could literally take a month in a coach search. We could fly people in. We could wine and dine them, show them the town, and let them see what their family might be enjoying. But now we have to move at a quick pace. And I break things into values and principles. When I look for a coach, I look for values. And we have values inside the athletic department that our team worked on years ago when Coach Cronick was here. He actually helped us. Integrity, pride, excellence, and service. That's what we stand for. And then when we look for coaches, we kind of look for what they stand for. And it doesn't take much for me to find what coach stands for, because when he calls me, he's got the picture of your t-shirt. It says love, compete, believe. And I think if you take our 4 values and those 3, they mesh just right. And so it was easy on the value side of things for me to make the decision that we did. But then you look on the other side of things, and you have to have principles of what you want to win by. You have to lay those out, and I think as a department and as my team, we've never wavered on what we think wins football games. We think what wins football games in the Southern Conference is great defense, running the football, being physical, and disciplined. And having worked with Coach Taylor, I know he feels the same way. Football is a violent game. And the person who is the most violent and the most physical will usually win that game. And I want to say testament to you, Coach Cronick, Coach Jacobs, and the whole staffs we've had the last 5 years. We have been physical. We have dominated football games. So that is kind of where we came to the decision. As you noticed, it was quick. I usually trust my gut. I consulted Dr. Elkins and Dr. Underwood at the time, but I went to bed that night, and when I woke up, I felt really good. And I usually go with that. But I was watching a documentary, and I'm going to get to introducing Coach Taylor here last, I don't know why I was watching it. It was about Alabama football. It was called The Pride of Winning. And it was about Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. And you know, Bear Bryant was a successful coach at Texas A&M. Just won a national championship, a Southwest Conference championship. But he played at Alabama, and Alabama called him to come back to be their coach. And somebody asked him and said, "Coach, why would you leave Texas A&M?" And he said, "Mama called." So Joel, you've always been a family to us. Michelle, you've been family. I'm glad when we called, you picked up the phone. I'm glad you were willing to come over here. So without further ado, the 22nd coach in Mercer football athletic history, Coach Joel Taylor.
Appreciate it. Oh, man, let me get my notes here. You know, usually if I don't have notes, I start going everywhere. But I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for everyone being here. This is a tremendous opportunity for me, and so excited to be back here at Mercer. It was a really hard but easy decision. You know, I want to, just first, I want to give my thank yous first. First, I want to say thank you, Ms. Penny Elkins, and Jim Cole, for trusting in me and believing in me to take this thing to the next level. And that's something that we're going to do here. And I appreciate you guys for believing in me and allowing me to do that. I want to thank West Georgia. I wasn't looking to leave West Georgia. I think West Georgia gave me a great opportunity, and they believed in me as well. And we did a lot of great things there. I want to thank Brendan Kelly and Jason Carmichael for believing in me, to make me the head coach at West Georgia. I want to say thank you to those players. Those players, bought in. They loved each other. They believed in what we was doing, and it showed on the gridiron, going 8-3 last season. I want to thank my staff. Those guys are around. Without those guys, I wouldn't be here. Those men I trust. Those men know how to build a culture, and I appreciate them so much. The next person is Drew Cronic. Without Drew, I would not be here. Drew hired me at Lenore Ryan University. Drew didn't know me from Adam's house cat. I actually, just tell you a quick story, I actually called Jimmy Long. So Jimmy Long was on that staff, and I said, "Hey, Jimmy, is the head coaching job, is the defensive coordinator job still open?" He's like, "Man, I don't know, but I'm gonna call Drew." Drew called me 30 minutes later, and sure enough, man, me and him stayed on the phone for about an hour and a half, and he hired me, man, and that was awesome. He believed in me. I would like to thank some former coaches. These coaches kind of just molded me into who I am today. Coach Willie Jeffries, Coach Buddy Pugh, Coach Fred Goldsmith, Coach Mike Houston, and Coach Brent Thompson. Those guys were my head coaches, and I've, took a little piece of everything from those guys, and they've helped me throughout this profession. I would also love to thank, I'd like to thank my family. My mom, Linda, my sister, Veronica, and my nephew, Jalen. You guys have been behind me, ever since I was yay high. And I appreciate your support. I love you guys. I could not do this without you, and thank you. And last but not least, my beautiful wife, Michelle Taylor. Ooh, I'm about to, hold tight. All right. I just want to say thank you. I don't tell you enough how much I appreciate you. I love you. I couldn't be here without you. When I first started this thing, I'll give y'all a quick story. I didn't make over $15,000 for the first 5 or 6 years of my career. And sure enough, man, I get my first full-time job at South Carolina State University. And I'm young, I'm 27, and I'm getting ready to go. I said, I'm getting ready to spend this money. All right, and sure enough, I met my wife a week later after I signed that contract. And from there, she's made me a better man, a better coach, better husband, and I love you, and I appreciate you. Whew. I'll tell you what. All right. Now, why Mercer? Why did I come back to Mercer? And it happened really, really fast. I think Coach Jacobs took the Toledo job on Tuesday, and sure enough, I was here on Thursday. it was crazy. So it was a fast process, but like I said, it was a hard but easy process. There was only one job that I would take in the FCS football. It was been Mercer University. And the reason for that is, if you look at it, the last 12 to 13 years, the growth of this place has been tremendous, and it's continuing to grow. The potential of this place is just crazy, and I wanted to be a part of that. I was here for 4 years, got a chance to build a lot of relationships in the community, on campus, in the field house, and the people here are great. I think it's all about the people. I always say it's three things, and if I'm gonna take a job, my wife got to be happy, I got to be around great people, and sure enough, man, I got to have a great opportunity, right? An opportunity to win. And then the commitment to excellence, on and off the field. Mercer is a premier institution, and I want to be a part of that again. The location. You're talking about Middle Georgia. You're talking about some of the best football there is. I recruited Middle Georgia, so I know the talent here. And I'm super, super excited to recruit it again, but shoot, we recruiting Georgia. Georgia has the best talent, and we can go 3.5 hours and hit the Southeast. That is tremendous. No school in America has that. And then the opportunity to finish what we started. We started something in 2020, right? Which is crazy, man. We started when COVID happened. We started the COVID season, we went 0-3, and then we messed around and went 5-3, and we took off from there. And I knew that team, that staff, could push this thing to the next level, and they did with Coach Jacobs. But we can push this thing even further, The only reason I came here is to win a national championship, okay? And I love to give a track analogy. Everybody knows the 4x1, right? Well, Bobby Lamb had that first baton. He took this thing and built it. Well, Coach Cronick took that second baton and turned that corner. Then we handed it off to Coach Jacobs, and he hit the straightaway. Now it's time. That fourth baton, that's what they say, the best for last, and we're going to turn that corner. I kind of want to talk about my journey just a little bit. Not much. I just want to talk about how we got here. I started out as a volunteer assistant. I graduated a computer science degree. Wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and I was lucky enough. Coach Buddy Pugh asked me, "Hey, what do you want to do?" I said, "Coach, I really don't know. I don't want to work in a cubicle." And he said, "Why don't you come work with me?" And then the next word came out of his mouth. He said, "I can't pay you though." I said, "Oh man, But I wanted to be around the game. I wanted to be around the guys. I wanted to build relationships. I love the game of football, and I took a leap of faith. And that faith has taken me 20 years, from South Carolina State, to Lenore Ryan, to the Citadel, back to Lenore Ryan, Mercer, West Georgia, and back to Mercer. In those 21 years, I've been a winner. I've been around a lot of good coaches. I've been around a lot of good people. I've only had 4 losing seasons, and those losing seasons were 5 and 6. So I've been around a lot of good people, and I've learned a lot of good things. And what's crazy is during this journey when I was here at Mercer, man, I was super happy, super happy. Michelle and I, we didn't want to leave Mercer. We didn't. But West Georgia came calling, and that was a tremendous opportunity. It really was. And, we took a leap of faith. And what's crazy is, if I probably would have said no there, I probably would have got hired here when Coach Cronick, or I got elevated here when Coach Cronick left. But the good Lord was telling me, man, you had to go. Because if I would have stayed here, I probably would have kept it status quo. Because we were doing some really good things. The good Lord said, man, you got to go learn. You got to go learn. And I learned. We spent 2 years at West Georgia. We flipped that program around. We won 8 Division I games. That's the most Division I games that a Transitional Program 1, I think since 2000, and North Dakota State did that. So I had to learn that so I can come back here and not keep it status quo, but take it to the next level, to elevate this place. And I'm excited about that journey. Well, how are we going to do it, and what are the things that are important to me, as we go through this process? The first one is academic excellence, graduating our guys. I know we are in a strange time with the portal, and that does not, deviate the fact that we got to graduate our young men. And getting a master's degree is important. I think if we can then go get a guy out of high school, we should be able to graduate that guy because he wants that degree, because he wants to be successful in life. And that will always be our goal here at Mercer. Then the next thing is about the experience of the student athlete. Like I said, we're living in a strange world, a transfer world, all that good stuff. We got to give these guys a really, really good experience, our young men and women here. And I know we will do that. I know we do that here at Mercer. And then the last thing is to win, and how are we going to do that? I'm a big culture guy. I brought my staff, about 7 to 8 guys, and they know the culture, and they're going to instill it, and we're going to sprinkle on our young men. And I think it's important for our young men to understand what culture actually means. So when you see our guys, I want you to ask, hey, what culture means? Or what is culture in your building? And they better say it, because it's really, really easy. Culture to me is about connecting people. That's what football does. All different backgrounds, demographics, social statuses. It brings us all together for one common purpose. And to me, connecting people is serving and investing into people. And sometimes we miss that ball there. We live in a world that's I, me. No, it's about serving. The good Lord put us on this earth to serve, and we are going to serve each other. On the football field, we're going to serve this campus. We're going to serve the community. What we're also going to do is investing into it as well. Because when you invest into your teammate, you invest into your campus, you invest into your community, you know what they turn around and do? Invest in you. All right, and that's all about connecting people. Mr. Cole talked about our foundation, love, compete, believe. Coach Cronick brought that here, and I kept it because I believe it. Love is the strongest human emotion there is. We're going to love each other. We're going to compete on that football field, and we're going to believe in each other. And I think that's so important. And then the next thing is, and the last thing is, you're going to see me hashtag it, all that good stuff, but I firmly believe in it. When I was a young coach, you're teaching young men, and you want to keep things in line for those young men. And what I did was, you got a lot of people that make acronyms, and I made an acronym of ATAK, right? What that meant was, that meant assignment, that meant technique, that meant alignment, that meant key. All right, as long as you know how to attack cover 3, you know how to attack cover 4, you're gonna be just fine. But with me saying that, I'm also creating a mentality. So when you hear me say attack to our football team, what that means is, it means attitude, that means togetherness, that means toughness, that means accountability, that means character, and that means knowledge. We're going to attack every single day because that's what we can control. We can't control what the scoreboard is. I can't control wins and losses, but we can control attacking every single day. That's attacking the classroom, that's attacking the football field, that's attacking practice, meetings. We are attacking, but we are building a mentality of something that we can control. So there will be no anxiety, because I can't control the scoreboard, but we can control our actions every single day, okay? And our program will teach and learn every day. We will create an environment rooted in love, built to compete, and driven by belief. One that allows us to discover potential, inspire confidence, empower leadership, and serve something bigger than ourselves. We will be tough, disciplined team that does things the right way. That will be Mercer football. And I'm going to leave you with this. Our goal is to continue to compete at a high level and win championships. To do this, it takes a village. We talked about that before. And that village has to consist of more than coaches, support staff, players. It has to consist of you guys in the room, our fans, our donors, our administration. We will need to support on and off the field. And if we do that, we will be champions. And like Miss Elkins like to say, Dr. Elkins like to say, every day is a good day to be a Bear. All right? Go Bears.
Okay, while they're making one additional photo, members of the media, if you want to ask a question or two individually of either our coach, Jim Cole, or even Dr. Elkins, you might want to make your way down to the front. If this is a meet and greet, we want to give everyone a chance to shake Coach Taylor's hand, get a chance to introduce yourself, and by all means, when you do that, we got a big basketball game down in the arena. Let's all go support the Bears against the Citadel. All right, now finally, if you are appreciative of what Coach Taylor has brought today to campus as our new head coach, let's make him know it.
If you really want to support, season tickets just went on sale too.